The last one before the end of the year. Here we are. The last Obey the Puck of 2019. And Dan's in a great mood. I'm talking in third person. It was not intentional, but we'll get to that in a second. Dan Calchico with Paul Baker and Kelly Levy. I froze again. Everybody's okay. We're all in town. We're all ready to go here. Okay. Everything's fine. We're going to leave that in. So anyway, we're going to get to the top 10 because Forbes didn't disclose the entire list of NHL fan bases for security. Or what was it? What was the reason, Kelly?
Sensitive data.
Sensitive.
And the fact that they had no evidence that there was a hockey team in Arizona.
Ooh, who said that? Was that your line?
That's my line.
Oh my God, you vicious.
Based on their what they used, I think that might have actually been an issue.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about player safety and George Parros coming up. We're going to do that first. So I don't know, and this is a hell of a way to end the year. I do want to thank all of our guests. We've had 3 or 4 interviews this year. I want to thank all of them. Paul,
we had let's see, Michael Keeley from the Maine Mariners. We had Zach Fish from the Hershey Bears, and we had Angela and Aaron Bell from Hockey Docs.
Good documentary, by the way. Good stuff on that network, hockeydocs.com. You should subscribe now. But I want to thank everybody for starting off the season. We're episode 7 now. It was a slow burn this season, but I'm going to get into that in a second. But I do want to thank all of our guests for their time. And we hope to have a lot of you on again soon. Zach, I don't want on so soon because I want the Bears to suck, so I don't have to watch them raise another cup. And I don't have to have them come on here and go, hey, we won. Yippee. I don't want Kelly that happy about hockey again for a long time before I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a selfish person. But I do thank everybody for coming on. That being said, I don't care right now. I'm so burnt out and bummed out about the NHL. I'll watch anything else. I'm still streaming the game on Twitch, but I don't know anymore. I am where Kelly was 4 years ago, and it's documented on this show, so it's out there, but I get so tired of the league in general not knowing what to do when something happens. I get tired of and it does happen. That's not what happens. I'm tired of the officials sticking their nose way too far into the game and changing outcomes or drawing an outcome to another direction it wasn't going to go. I'm done. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. The latest one was a 3-game suspension that was doled out to Joel Farabee of the Philadelphia Flyers for a late hit. Fair enough. Their game against Colorado Avalanche, and here's where I have the problem. A week earlier, happened against Philly. Happened against Travis Konechny. Mark, I can never get his name out, Paul, but it's somebody help me with that. My mouth is not letting me do the syllables of that name. Borowiecki? Borowiecki. You know what I'm talking about.
That sounded right to me. Borowiecki.
Late hit. Wasn't called as a penalty. There was no game stoppage. There was nothing. Travis Konechny was out for a week with concussion. He's okay because he's back now. And that was the last of it. That was the end of it. Same thing happened this week. Joel Farabee gets the hit. Immediately, before the game is over, player safety tweets, Joel Farabee will have over the phone hearing from him. I imagine that's how George Parros sounds at this point. And a day later, 3-game suspension. Here's where I have the issue. I was mad about it. I started to calm down, and then Alain Vigneault said something. And apparently, the Flyers looked at the tape and timed it with the other hit, and it was literally 0.03 of a second off. One was called, the other was not. One was suspended, the other was not. A player was injured on both plays. You tell me now why I should care anymore. It's not just this. It's the shoddy officiating, which I've been told can't be fixed because they're too big. Darren and I have discussed this, where I was basically calling for everybody and the officials to go play in traffic. I said, just go play in traffic. Go. Is that too harsh? Yes. Well, they should go do it. Go play in traffic. And he's right that you got I'm seeing it now. You got people who watch hockey who don't like hitting, don't like fights, don't like the heavy stuff, that are interjecting themselves, and the league is folding to that, and you have the rules are changing because of that, and they don't know what. Here's my problem with this thing. What a goal. Thank you. If you have the ability to review it, why are you not going back and taking? They're both lace hits. That's the thing. I'm not arguing. Kelly, you can comment after that because you've seen it. We talked about it. I tried not to inundate you before the show. And then, Paul, you can comment after this. I'm not saying it wasn't a late hit. I'm saying, why are they not both the same? You changed the game. You changed the way the game was going. You did it against Philly, against Pittsburgh in the playoffs 2 years ago, and that trip that was not called. You just pick and choose stuff. I almost cursed.
Good save.
Thank you. You just pick and choose now, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching this. I'm tired. The one game I went to, the Flyers lost. That was okay. It was one game out of 7 that they lost or something. I wasn't angry about that. They literally called a penalty that a guy sneezed on when the same thing happened against the Flyers. I'm tired of the excuses. They can't see everything. You can't call everything all the time. The ability is there to watch this stuff after, and it's not being addressed. If you call one, you call the other. If the league can't be fixed, I'm done. I'm getting tired of having my intelligence insulted. I'm not saying I would ever go to George Parros and tell him to go F himself, but F you, George. Your department is a joke. It was a joke when Brendan Shanahan was there. It was a joke when his name escapes me now. Campbell. It's a joke. Yes, thank you. It's a joke. You don't. If you cared, this stuff would be called evenly. You don't care. The league is a mess. They don't know what they want, and if it can't be fixed, I'm out. I can't invest my time into this crap. Paul, Kelly, tell me I'm wrong. Paul, you first.
I thought Kelly was going first.
I didn't hear anything from Kelly, so I'm telling you go first.
What can we say at this point that we haven't been saying for several years now? I feel like we're beating a dead horse because the same issue. We changed the shirts, we changed the faces, but the issue. What's a penalty on Tuesday is not a penalty on Wednesday. That it's what Kelly's term, consistently inconsistent. It's gospel now.
Kelly, before you go, I've been saying for years, either fix it or ask her get off the pot. That's where we are right now. So I'm being told by several people they can't fix it. It's a mess. Then what's the point?
Yeah. Why would you want to watch something that's broken? Why would you want to invest your time, money, and energy in something that's broken?
Kelly, you were there 4 years ago, 5 years ago. What do you got to say about all this crap?
We've had the same discussion, argument, yelling over and over, and I don't think there's anything they can do about. They have to put on the pretense that they're trying to do something about bad hits, late hits, egregious plays, but they can't. I don't know what the process is. I don't know if it's ever been clearly stated. I don't know if the teams have to, submit a tape. I mean, I'm sure there are some things that the league's like, oh yeah, we're going to look at that. But I'm sure other times the team itself has to submit a tape and go, look, you've got to look at this. Something has to be done. This latest one with the Flyers is frustrating to me because I don't understand how in the world Farabee gets 3 games as a rookie when we've been told that previous history counts. It comes into play. It's baffling, and there's no evidence at this point. You can show me that there's any kind of consistency to it. It makes no sense. The only thing I can think of is the fact that the Avalanche had been hurt twice before, not by a late hit, but twice it had players injured during play where play was not stopped for head injuries. I forget the one player who was on the ice bleeding while the power play was going on around him, and they wouldn't stop the game.
Oh, yeah,
So I was thinking that this is kind of the third strike where Farabee has a late hit. The guy's injured, so they stop the game, penalty, and of course it's going to be reviewed by player safety because they can actually review that and fine or suspend the player who did it, as opposed to the 2 guys who shot the puck who clearly weren't trying to hurt anyone. It just happened. So
you brought up a very good point, because I didn't even think of that, to be honest. In my anger and irrational, Chris is going to kill me for that one. Irrational. Shut up, Paul. Irrational.
Serious, I like it.
Irrational. I'm going to name the episode that. Irrational. In my irrational anger, I didn't even think of the fact that literally his first 11 games, he literally has never done anything wrong before, and they're like, 3 games, you're done. And as we speak, David Cachet of the Phantoms and the Flyers just got his first NHL career goal. So there's good news in the midst of all this. It was just, I guess I was so mad, and I think I'm rightfully so. Paul, you can elaborate after I'm done, and we'll close this book for 2019 of talking about the NHL being a garbage league at this point. Almost. I say almost, but how many times can they almost be before it is garbage? They had 5 injuries. Well, they had 4 injuries and an illness. Oscar Lindblom is out with, I don't know, it's a form of bone cancer. So he's out for the season. He's out indefinitely. And then you had 4 other injuries, 2 and 2 tail ending that. Thankfully, one of them is back and it's worked out. But it's just the impact. You're in a playoff race. We're in December. We're hitting that. This is it, folks. Thing again. And here we are. The Flyers are doing okay. They're still in a playoff race. And it's just everything stacked up on top of each other. And it just compacted on me of all these games, watching this happen. And then Farabee's the one that's going to get the crap. And let me add real quick, Paul, before you go. And Kelly, if you have anything after Paul says that you want to wrap this up with, go ahead. It's not the Flyers' problem that the NHL didn't help the other Colorado Avalanche players out. It's not their problem that the referee was like, "Pardon!" Not their fault. Go ahead, Paul.
I really, really hope with every fiber of my being that that's not how they're dispensing justice now. Like, we owe the Avalanche a pound of flesh. Damn it, we messed up last time. We'll fix it this time. That's not right on any level. So no. I hope that's just a wacky conspiracy theory, because, man, if they're running a league like that, then they are a garbage league.
Kelly, you got anything you want to close this up? Any points I missed?
No.
I'm all about Philly. I've been watching a lot of AHL. I've been watching the NWHL religiously on the weekends through Twitch. I don't know. I just don't have it in me anymore to sit up watch hockey games, and it sucks. It sucks. I don't know how much longer I can do. I hate saying this because you get to social media like, oh, you're not a real fan, brother. I've been watching this stuff since I was 6, 7, or 8, as much as I can, and absorbing as much as I can. Absorbing sometimes more than a lot of you. Kelly and Paul have watched more hockey than me and most of you listening right now, in person and on TV. It's just the way it is. And I've reached my breaking point. Past the Flyers, I just don't care about this league. Maybe I'll calm down another 2 weeks when we reconvene, but it's just ugh with the side of ugh. And this list, Paul, I saw what you said. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do that first because I don't want to end on that. But you have breaking news, kinda.
Well, I don't know how fresh this news is, but I just found out that Horvath, I guess today he was 89 years old. He had quite a career. He played on Calder Cup championship teams in 65, 66, and 68 in Rochester.
Hold on. Say his name again, because when you said his name, it broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bronco Horvath.
Thank you. Go ahead. Continue.
And, he won Calder Cups in Rochester in 65, 66, and 68. He might be best known for playing on the uke line. You couldn't call a line the uke line nowadays. But what a line that was. That was Johnny Busick, Vic Stasiuk, and Horvath. He made the postseason All-Star team twice. Tied with Bobby Hull in 1960 for the NHL goal-scoring lead. Quite a career. And
he played the Blazers too.
Yeah, he played for the Bruins, the Rangers, I think the Blackhawks. Canadians. Geez, he hit the whole original 6. Rangers, Canadians, Bruins, Blackhawks, Maple Leafs, and the Minnesota North Stars. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. There is actually... Keep going, because there's actually a few more passings today, I think.
Yeah, so, I mean, great career, and nice man. I got to meet him. He's up on the puck wall, of course. He's a Bruins player. So, nice. Had a nice interaction when I got his autograph, so many years ago. So, rest in peace, Mr. Horvath.
And by the way, you can see that puck wall if you go to hockeydocs.com and subscribe now. You can see Paul's episode of The Collectors right now. See that's pretty. See how you do that? Professional.
Free editor. We're gonna start charging the bells here.
My check's in the mail from Stadium Journey, so I've been told. Or going to be put in the mail. Actually, don't send it in the mail because we haven't had a mailbox for a month, and the postal service hasn't fixed it. So I'm not getting any mail. So thank you, United States Postal Service.
Yeah,
that's great. Jesus, I cannot do this name. Vladimir. I can't do it. Siplakov? LA Kings, Buffalo Sabres. Siplakov, thank you. I was like, is the T silent? The T should always be silent, right? He passed away. Buffalo Sabres, LA Kings, 331 games for the NHL. And Scott Cladendorst. I think I got that one right. Played for the Whalers.
I didn't hear about that.
He died. It was announced today. He played Kelly for the Whalers and the Capitals. I don't know if you remember that name for
college guy.
Yeah.
No.
I wonder if he played for the dark years of the Capitals, Kill.
Well, he was a skipjack, so yes.
Oh, of course he is. So yeah, it was a somber day in the NHL for alumni. What a way to end the year. Our thoughts and positive thoughts, prayers, and positive vibes to the families. Now we will crap on Forbes and their fan base list. Top 10. They, as I said at the top of the show, we haven't done an hour. We're not doing an hour this week because I'm mad. Kelly mentioned off air that they didn't release all the information because of privacy, but Forbes apparently has a top fan base list of the NHL of 2019. I didn't even see how they ranked these. I just know that the Penguins in Pittsburgh are number one.
Would you like the metrics?
I would love the metrics, please, Kelly.
Metrics! Woo!
Shut up, Paul.
Wow, I was trying to bring some enthusiasm.
No one likes numbers that much. Okay, so according to Forbes,
oh boy.
Their list of the best fans is based on fan consumption metrics, which are hometown crowd reach, don't know what that means, television ratings, attendance, secondary market ticket demand, merchandise sales, and social media reach. All of those I can figure out except for hometown crowd reach. I don't know what that is, and they do not elaborate.
I'm assuming, Kel,
like how long people come to your arena, maybe?
No, I was see now that's the problem, because you're interpreting it that way, and I was going to guess, Kelly, that hometown reach was where you see fans in other cities.
Oh, like how well fans travel.
No, I mean the reach of how, like, if you go to a game in Montreal, the amount of Flyers fans that are there. Not
so. Yes, how fans travel.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh, that makes sense.
This is my life, Paul. We agree, but he thinks I disagree.
No, that just sounds like a relationship, Kelly.
That's not what I meant. I was in my head. This is what I explained to Dean. My head does not work like everybody else's. I don't mean to confront. In my head, I was picturing people that lived in other areas that were fans of the team, not traveling, and I wasn't able to get those words out. I wasn't. I was not arguing. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah. Either way, they're both good, plausible explanations.
My ass, Paul.
Yeah, I just wish they would just elaborate on that, because that's the one that is not very, very clear. So I thought since it's listed by television ratings, it might be related to how big of an area is contributing to the ratings, but that doesn't really. I don't understand how that would be fan quality. That's just weird to me. So that one I don't understand, but the other ones at least make sense, kind of.
Fan quality is a terrible, terrible phrasing. That's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just as horrible as the Comcast Sportsnet authentic fan thing, which makes me nauseous. Are you authentic? Have you spent enough money to be a fan? That's just bad.
Yeah, did you give us enough money this year? Okay, so number 10, Detroit Red Wings. Number 9, the Nashville Predators. Number 8, the Winnipeg Jets. Number 7, the St. Louis Blues. How are they 7? Number 6, the Maple Leafs. Number 5, come on, Forbes. Oh, it's an ad, excuse me. Number 5, the Buffalo Sabres. Number 4, the Vegas Golden Knights. Number 3, the Blackhawks. Number 2, the Bruins, excuse me. And number 1, Pittsburgh Penguins. Paul, your thoughts first.
Well, like I said off air, it's nice to see a list that doesn't just say, all right, original 6 teams, year 1 through 6, and then we'll start there. But that being said, this list is absolute garbage. The third year team has got the 4th best fans in the league. I don't know. I don't see a lot of teams with losing records on there. Buffalo excluded and Detroit, but I don't know. It's like any list. You make lists like this so you can debate them. So let's debate. Pittsburgh, I don't know how you're number one.
Well, yeah, because they went through, and it's not an article, as far as I can tell. It's just like a slideshow thing, and they were explaining. So attendance. Well, we all know Montreal is number one in attendance because they have the biggest building, and even though the team hasn't been fantastic, they're pretty close to sold out every game. So, and they're not even on the list. Television rating, they told us Buffalo is the best television market.
Yeah, and they're always up near the top of any ratings scale.
Yeah, so, and they're number 5 on the list or something. Secondary market ticket demand. I know Toronto's really high on the. Well, I don't know. Now, is that pricing or is that demand?
Or is it, yeah, or is that
Toronto is number one pricing. Yeah, it's weird without seeing the numbers, which Forbes won't release, I guess, or if they did, it's not in the slides.
Before you continue, what is the point of putting this information out if you're not going to give us the information based on? Go ahead. That doesn't make any sense. Go ahead.
No, it's about right. Yeah, I don't know. Social media reach, I'm assuming that's number of followers of the different social media accounts.
Sure, yeah.
So that's something that's actually quantifiable.
Sure.
And merchandise sales are quantifiable.
Sure.
Secondary market ticket demand, now that one bugs me, because does that mean price or demand or both?
Right.
Attendance is quantifiable, and television ratings are quantifiable. And then the one that I don't understand, crowd reach. So who knows?
I would like to argue this list, but you can't argue it without any information. That's the problem. Because you could very much say that is the way it should be based on the information they're not showing us and how they built the list. So I don't know. I would argue that Philly would be in the top 10, but the attendance has not been stellar this year for the first time in forever. So I can't even throw that hat in. Apparently we found out through attrition and math that it's about 44 years after a championship where fans finally give up. Oh, that and removing a stupid fat woman statue. Add that together. 43 years, and everybody, all the mad people that have all the complete collection of Kate Smith on LP and CD are mad.
How many of those people who went nuts online actually have ever heard an original Kate Smith song besides God Bless America?
Zero. Filch. Or the songs they mentioned in the article. Go ahead, Kel.
I did think it was interesting. The one fact that they threw in with the Blackhawks entry was that the Blackhawks finally now actually draw a bigger TV audience than the Bulls. And I'm like, really? It took you that long to surpass the Bulls, who have stunk since Michael Jordan left, whenever that was, and you've won 3 Stanley Cups. And just now you passed them in the ratings. That seems bizarre to me. Anyone else? I mean, because the Bulls are horrible, right?
No, the Bulls suck. Yeah, they suck.
And it's been a while since they've been hard. Like they were. Yeah. I mean, Jordan left and they stunk as a given, but like they've been horrible.
Yeah, they've made the playoffs a couple times, but yeah, they've never been anything worse than anything better than like a first round exit.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, didn't you say that the Wolves used to dominate the ratings because of how the system worked in Chicago for watching Blackhawks?
Well, it wasn't that they dominated the ratings. The Wolves were on TV.
Oh,
the
period.
Blackhawks were not on TV because Dollar Bill would not show the games on TV because the arena wasn't sold out.
Oh,
So he would not show the games locally on television, so people would watch the Chicago Wolves because they were on TV, and they went
was such
to see that team.
1960s thinking.
Yeah, I mean, and that team was winning championships, whatever league they were in. Like they are always competitive. Yeah. So people were going to see them, and no one was going to see the Hawks because they were not good for huge stretches of time there.
Wow. So until they have the information, I'm just going to say the list is. I can't argue Pittsburgh. I mean, look at all my Philly bias, east side of Pennsylvania bias aside. The Penguins have dominated for years now. Who the hell am I to argue that that's probably not the top one fan base? Now, when the downfall happens. If what I think has happened is wow, that's easy for me to say. If I can get the sentence out, this will sound fantastic. If what I think is going to happen happens like it has before, what's the difference?
Oh, you mean this thing where they almost go bankrupt and then are gifted a generational talent?
Yes, that one.
That thing. Oh, yeah.
That thing. Though I can't say that because every time I bring it up, like, you're just a hater. I'm like, no, it's fact. It's factually true. It was blatant. It was covered in the news, you schmuck. It's there.
I will never forget the Caps Penguins game I went to in the dark ages before Crosby and before Ovi, after Jágr had left both of those franchises. Is there a theme there? I think so. But it was, oh God, those were terrible. But it was a game. It was 2-1 Pens and late in the third. And as always in Washington in those days, it was probably 60% Penguins fans in the arena.
Sure.
And this chant just broke out from the Caps fans who were just sick of it. We were tired of all of it. And it was "You are bankrupt" chant.
Oh my God.
Which was responded to by a scoreboard chant from the Penguins fans, which was funny only in that the Caps pulled their crap together and tied the game and then won it right before the end of the game. But in my mind, whenever I think of the Penguins, I think of that, like, 2003, 2004, Mario was gone. He wasn't playing at that point. I think that was even before he was part of the ownership. No Sidney Crosby, no Ovechkin. Just two horrible teams hoping against hope that they were going to somehow get enough draft picks and put together quality teams in the relatively near future. But oh my goodness, those games were horrible. But just the ringing of "You are bankrupt," and at that point the MCI Center was something to witness.
And not for nothing, Caps fans earned that right to say that. They've been there, done that.
Yeah, our team was only going to move once, so we're better than you guys.
Not twice.
Where was Washington going?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I don't know if anyone wanted them at that point, Paul.
Oh, were they going to Tampa or something like that?
I don't know. I barely remember the Save the Caps campaign, but I don't know if there was something in mind.
Hey, if Montreal can go to Cleveland, anybody can move, right?
Listen, I can only ever find one article about that, and I know it's happened because I've seen the video from the old newsreel from down here where it was Holmgren from the Flyers and a bunch of other Philadelphia Flyers players and coaching staff on the video talking about what a great rivalry the Caps and Flyers are and the support should be there and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But I can only ever find one goddamn article about it. I'm trying to find on this one. Oh, why? Come on, come on. I'm trying to find on this article where they were going to move, but I don't think it's going to.
Sorry, I asked the question.
I'm still not convinced that anyone wanted them at that point. It was like 82. So, I mean, think about the 82 Caps.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I got it.
The Capitals almost relocated in 1982. Wow, Kelly.
Yes, I got it. Tacoma, Regina.
Wow, like you thought the Saskatoon Blues was bad, huh?
Tacoma, Washington, or Regina, Saskatchewan. Holy crap! I would have never guessed those.
I don't know. I would have been a Regina fan.
Wow. All right. Well, you learn something new every day. Just to bring it back around to Philly real quick, this team is battling in very well right now. It was a bad week last week. On top of the Oscar Lindbaum news, it was just a bad week. So if you're sitting home on this team, I don't want you showing up to the arena when they're in the playoffs, buying tickets all of a sudden so I can't buy one because you care all of a sudden. So stay away or come back now. Make up your minds. Just to bring it back around to the end of the episode, end of year 2019, we'll see first week 2020, maybe. I don't know what the schedule is. We'll see you next year. But piggybacking off the first topic, Kelly, you first. What can the league or the front office do to bring you back to caring like you used to? Or is the league, is this the way it is now?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about the NHL. It's there. I will watch games occasionally, but the emotional investment is gone. It's been that way for a number of years for me, and nothing I've seen has changed my mind in any way.
Why?
And I have the same complaints. So
yeah,
it's just the hockey that's most readily accessible. So I still watch it, and I will watch, and I like to see the kids I've seen in the AHL, even for other teams. I like to see them, get their first games, goals, and stuff like that. That's still something that I enjoy. But other than that, I'm just not that invested in it.
Watching Capitals and not really caring about much else.
Yeah, and I don't even honestly care about the Caps that much. I care about the players. If they do well, it's great because I know what a lot of those guys have been through. I've followed their careers for so long now, but the investment in the team, it's not there.
Paul, same question.
Well, I think I'm in a different boat than the two of you because I guess you could call it disinterest, is more because of other factors. The fact that I'm just so damn busy, and the games that I am seeing in person now are, in the NWHL and the AHL with my season tickets in Providence. So this is kind of a cycle that I think occurs just about every season for me, where when we hit the middle of the season and I've seen, a dozen or so Providence games in person and now a dozen or so Pride games in person, just not a whole lot of room left over on the plate. So I do watch the Boston Bruins games pretty religiously on television, but yeah, if it's two neutral teams, you're not going to see me, I'm not going to have it on. I'm not going to be too invested in it. I will go to a lot of college games as well, for Stadium Journey. So there's only just so much room on my plate. So I don't think it's the fact that I've kind of moved on from the NHL. It's just that there's only so much room on the plate.
At the beginning of this year, I was watching as much as possible, and I do want to interject about being readily available. That's not true anymore with the AHL TV app. It's not the only league readily available. We've watched more AHL games this year. We've watched NHL games, and it's barely a third of the price. And we can watch them in HD. We can watch them on several devices at the same time. There's no need to try to find an NBC channel or go, we watch the NHL Network a lot for general hockey news, but every time a week passes, I'm just like, I don't have emotion for it anymore. I mean, I have plenty of emotion for the Flyers, as you've heard, but that's about where it stops. And I'm glad hockey is the way it is, because it's not like football where I care about the Eagles. What the hell else am I going to watch? Because I don't care. I don't care about any other team. Baseball, I used to be the same way with baseball and hockey. I cared very deeply about baseball. I don't care about I don't care about anybody but the Phillies. Hockey, I have 2 leagues that stream almost weekly, regularly, other than the NHL, to get my hockey fix, which I'm very happy about. So we'll see. We'll see in the new year. Paul, where can people follow you, sir?
You can find me online at PuckmanRI. I forgot for a second where I was. PuckmanRI.
Who are you, and what are you doing here?
I don't know. I don't know.
Kelly, where can people follow you?
Folks can follow me at Sked Central.
You can follow me at DanLaw83. The HIC Talk Radio Network is at thebradyhicks.com. VOC Nation Radio Network on Google Podcast and Apple Podcast. And the video podcast is at youtube.com/DanLaw83. All social media platforms, Obey the Puck on Facebook, Obey Puck Show on Twitter. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends. For Paul Baker, for Kelly Levy, I am Dan Calchigo. We'll see you next year. Have a good one.